The truth is, it is easier for employers to hire without posting a job, without going through the rigmarole of a lengthy hiring process. And that's one of the reasons you don't see most of the available jobs out there. Those employers would rather fill open positions with candidates from within their organization or ask for recommendations from colleagues and friends from outside, right? And the jobs that get filled that way are part of what's called the hidden job market. And data suggests it takes up 70% of the available jobs. My name is Mary Ellen Lombardi, and I help women get unstuck and find their next right fit job so they feel more aligned in their career life and can go after that position with the confidence they need and have the impact that they're looking for. Now, the hidden job market is great for employers, but it kind of sucks for you if you're not tapped into it. So today we're going to get you tapped into it. We're going to talk about what the heck it is, right? What the hidden job market is, how it benefits employers, why you need to pay attention to it, and how, most importantly, for you to access it. So let's get started. Now, the hidden job market, what the hell is it? We've talked a little bit about that, but let's go a little deeper. It refers to the jobs that are not advertised publicly. They tend to be higher level jobs that require unique expertise or special skills. These include existing positions or positions that are being created, and also consulting work, right? Things that are necessary to support acute challenges a company may be facing. And when hiring for these positions, leaders are going to look first internally. They're going to look at the existing pool of people at the company. Then they'll look externally through referrals from employees, colleagues, friends, and sometimes recruiters will play a role in this. Aside from a casting job I had in my early 20s, which is a whole other story for another time, or the businesses I've built, the rest of my career opportunities have all come within the hidden job market. In some cases, roles were created for me to build or launch something. Sometimes I've pitched an employer to bring me in as a consultant, and those jobs turned into full-time jobs. And other times I've worked with an employer to adapt a role that already existed into an expanded role that would increase my responsibility. So there's more flexibility than you think in your job opportunities moving forward. So let's talk a little bit more about how it benefits employers. So it benefits them in a couple ways. One, it's cheaper. According to research from Wharton School of Business, this is at the University of Pennsylvania, it costs your employer about 18% less to hire from within. Also, some companies just don't have the budget for a big advertising plan for a job, and they want to save time and energy sorting through resumes from a lot of unqualified candidates, and so they'll just not post it. They also get better retention. According to other research from Deloitte and LinkedIn, 21% of people who get hired outside of a company are more apt to leave during the first year. Employers also stay 41% longer at companies that have a history of promoting and hiring from within. The other time it could be a discretion-related thing, meaning they want to hire and pre-fill a role before an employee is actually leaving, so that's why they don't post it. Sometimes it's also about flexibility. Many times companies are going to have an acute challenge, which requires some skill or innovation or problem solving that doesn't actually exist in their current personnel, right? Or they don't want to spare staff to focus on it. So they hire, somebody from the outside and they bring them in to do that. They may need to have them launch a program, develop a partnership, review or create systems, build efficiencies, those kind of things. And these opportunities can turn into full-time positions. Hence my career. Literally, that's the entire evidence of my career. Now, there's a lot of opportunity in the hidden job market. So it's something that you really need to pay attention to. So let's talk about why. Because one of the reasons you need to pay attention to it is because the traditional or visible market kind of sucks, right? It's not as transparent as it appears to be. Forbes reported in 23, there's a survey of 1,000 hiring managers and discovered that 50% of those managers created job openings just to keep a warm talent pool at the ready when they were ready to hire. Like with no intention of hiring. And how are you supposed to know if what you're applying for is actually available or not? I mean, that kind of is terrible, right? And sometimes companies post jobs that they already informally filled to comply with legal requirements. 2 of my former jobs that transitioned from consulting work into full-time positions worked that way. Other candidates went through a ghost submission and interview process, but were ultimately declined as I was already promised and quite honestly doing the job. So the traditional job market also relies too heavily on the resume as your first impression. Indeed reports that hiring managers spend on average 6 to 7 seconds looking at your resume. That's it, right? That's kind of Shitty? What the hell is that about, right? Like, how much time do you spend writing that thing and it gets 6 to 7 seconds of their time? So finally, the visible job market reduces your control, right? It puts all the control in the hands of algorithms and hiring managers, right? And you say, well, of course it does. What control do I have? Well, the reality is you have a lot of control. We have often less control than we think we do, but more control than we use. And accessing the hidden job market allows you to take more ownership, take control of your career moves. Okay, so let's talk about how you can do that. There's 4 keys to accessing the hidden job market. Number 1, you got to think like an entrepreneur. Now, entrepreneurship is a way of thinking as much as it is a way of doing business. So you don't have to launch a business. Don't freak out. I'm not saying go launch a business. No, you don't have to, but you can take advantage of the perspective and the mindset, right? It's a solution-oriented approach. It's out-of-the-box thinking. It's having an agile and curious mind. So your interest in understanding how things work, the ability to identify problems and create solutions is far more valuable to your employer at every level of employment. And this mindset allows you to see what opportunities are bubbling up in your company. Also notice where you can create solutions for another employer and creating jobs for yourself in the process. It keeps you proactive in your career growth instead of reactive, which is what is happening when you're only looking to the job boards and sending resumes in for opportunities. That's a reactive approach. And an entrepreneurial mindset will also protect you from the natural fluctuations in the job market, right? You can stop obsessing about job projections and layoffs and hiring, speeding up and slowing down, because all that does is stress you out. If you are thinking entrepreneurially out of the box, you will be able to look past all that projection stuff and see opportunity that exists inside change, okay? The second key is to stop postponing networking, okay? You keep saying you need to do it, yet you aren't doing it. Why is that? We indicate our priorities by where we allocate our time and attention. So what is your time and attention telling you that you value? Where are you spending it when you're not networking? Part of the beauty of engaging with your business network are the observations, the suggestions, and the introductions that open your mind and open doors to career paths that you never thought to go down. And an agile and open mind is going to create space for those ideas to be planted, to be rooted. And one of those seeds is going to become that perfect opportunity. So let's put it this way. If research suggests that 70% of jobs are not advertised publicly and roughly 80% of jobs are secured through prior relationships, if you are not building those relationships, you only see 30% of the opportunities and are gambling with only 20% a chance of securing a spot. It can't be stated enough that your ability to build and nurture your relationships is crucial to accessing the hidden job market. So third key, start close to home, right? The work environment that you're in right now is your best first option to accessing the hidden job market, right? Look at your current company, current industry, before seeking opportunities outside of those two. You can start noticing what's happening. Are teams expanding? Are they contracting? Has a new VP been brought in or given a directive to solve a specific problem? Are there interdepartmental committees being created to address something company-wide? Is anything happening within your peers or competitors that is similar to that, right? The more you know about the environment you're working in, where you already have established relationships, common ground, the easier it can be to identify where the new opportunities are kind of bubbling up, right? Where you can see it start to happen. Because then you can pitch yourself for a job that's already created but not advertised publicly, right? You can collaborate with your employer to create a new one to solve one of those problems. The next key is you've got to understand yourself. You are the most important asset, and the better you know you and your skills and your impact, the easier it is to position yourself as the best candidate for any opportunity in the hidden job market. Your relationships can open the door, but you walk through them. Communicating what you do, the impact you deliver, and why it matters is what keeps you in the room once that door is opened. To match your skills and expertise with the challenges your industry or company is facing, you got to understand what you bring to the table that might be missing, right? It could be your perspective or your ability to get the best work out of a team. It could be that you're an expert at maybe refining systems and you can identify and remove bottlenecks like nobody else. Or maybe launching new programs is your specialty. That's my specialty. Whatever it is, communicating about it is vital to accessing the hidden job market. All right. So what have we talked about? We've talked about what the hidden job market is. We've talked about why employers love it. We've talked about why you need to care and then how to access it. So what are you going to do? Seriously, I want you to tell me what you're going to do right now. I think what you're really going to do, the first thing that you should do once you get off of this thing is I want you to start networking. What's the quickest thing you can do when you start networking? It's reconnect with the people that you already know. Now, we're going to do a whole other video just on that. But the first thing that you can do to start accessing this is start reconnecting with the people that you already know. All right, let me know how it's going. Comment or share, and I'll see you in the next video.